Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Science. I am so glad you found your way here. You've got nothing to do but rest. Let your mind relax, your breathing slow, and your body grow light as if gravity itself has softened. Imagine you are gently floating, suspended in a warm, dark, and utterly peaceful space. There are no demands here, no tasks awaiting you, only the soft hum of the cosmos and the quiet rhythm of your own being. This is a place where curiosity meets calm, where the vastness of the universe whispers its stories to soothe your tired mind. If these calm, curious explorations help you unwind or give you a quiet way to end your day, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It helps others find their way here too. Tonight, we aren't simply stargazing. We're drifting through the very fabric of time itself, reaching out into the profound quiet of what might come to be. We are taking a journey, not across space, but across eons, exploring the slow, majestic winding down of a universe that has always been in motion. Imagine the universe as a vast, ancient clock, its gears turning for billions upon billions of years. And now we listen for the gentle tick, talk as it prepares to settle into a deep and timeless slumber. This isn't a story of endings, but of transformation, of light softening into shadow, and motion easing into the most perfect stillness. So let your thoughts drift away as we embark on this serene voyage into the deepest future, where the universe itself dreams. Our journey into the deep future begins with the most familiar light in our sky, our own Sunday, a star that has cradled life for billions of years, pouring out its golden warmth, a constant comforting presence. But even this radiant heart of our solar system has a story yet to unfold, a magnificent slow dance towards its own peaceful retirement. In about 5 billion years, a blink in cosmic time compared to the eons we will soon traverse, our Sunday will begin its gentle transformation, its core, having patiently fused hydrogen into helium for so long, will start to run low on its primary fuel. And as its internal balance shifts, our Sunday will slowly, gracefully swell into a red giant. Imagine the Sunday, currently a brilliant yellow sphere, gradually expanding, its outer layers breathing out like a magnificent, slow exhalation. It will grow immense, its crimson glow reaching out, embracing the orbits of Mercury and Venus, perhaps even touching Earth's distant shores. This will not be a sudden, violent burst, but a long, majestic expansion, a softening of its fiery heart into a cooler, yet still vast, luminous presence. Its light will deepen to a rich, earthy red, casting long, serene shadows across the celestial canvas. For 1 billion years or so, it will drift as this grand, swollen star, a silent beacon, its energy dispersed over an immense volume. Then the final, most delicate act of its stellar life will begin. With the last of its accessible fuel exhausted, the Sunday will gently shed its outer layers. Picture this not as an explosion, but as a slow, dream-like unburdening. These magnificent gases, once part of its vibrant atmosphere, will drift outward into space, forming an ethereal, glowing bubble known as a planetary nebula. It's a cosmic ballet of gas and dust, illuminated by the dying core of the star. These nebulae are among the most beautiful objects in the night sky, vibrant and intricate, like celestial butterflies unfolding their wings for one last, glorious display. Each wisp and curve of gas will whisper a silent farewell, a fleeting, colorful poem etched against the dark canvas of space. visible for perhaps tens of thousands of years before gently dissolving into the interstellar medium. It's a moment of profound beauty, a final artistic flourish from a star that once nurtured life. And when these gossamer veils have finally faded away, what remains at the heart of our once mighty Sunday will be a tiny, incredibly dense core, a white dwarf. This will be the Sunday's ultimate legacy, a small, quiet ember, no larger than Earth, yet containing nearly the mass of our original star. It's a cosmic diamond compressed and heavy, no longer generating energy through fusion, but simply radiating away the leftover heat from its long and glorious life. Picture it as a silent sentinel, a faint echo of its former brilliance, glowing with a soft, ethereal light. It will drift through the darkness for trillions of years, an immense span of time almost beyond our comprehension, slowly cooling, dimming, and eventually becoming a black dwarf tied a cold, dark, and utterly still cinder, perfectly at peace within the vast, cold emptiness of space. This is the Sunday's final symphony, a graceful transformation from radiant life to quiet, eternal rest, a journey of serene beauty. Beyond our familiar Sunday, the universe is home to an incredible diversity of stars, each playing its own part in the grand cosmic narrative. And among these, the red dwarfs stand as the ultimate quiet champions of longevity, the most patient and enduring of all the celestial bodies. These are small, humble stars, much dimmer and cooler than our Sunday, and they burn their nuclear fuel with an exquisite, almost unimaginable slowness. While our Sunday will live for about 10 billion years, a red dwarf can shine for trillions, even tens of trillions of years. Imagine a whisper that lasts for an eternity, a slow, gentle pulse of light that endures through cosmic ages. These tiny crimson hearts are by far the most common type of star in the universe, silent sentinels that dot the galactic landscape. They are the universe's ultimate candle flames, destined to be the last sources of warmth and light in the unimaginably distant future. While our Sunday will gracefully fade into a white dwarf within billions of years, the red dwarfs will continue their patient glow, witnessing the passing of countless epochs. They will see galaxies evolve, civilizations rise and fall, and the universe itself age beyond recognition. They are the universe's most enduring lighthouses, their soft light persisting long after all other, grander stars have completed their magnificent cycles. But even these ancient, wise stars, holding on to their light with such tenacious grace, will eventually reach their quiet end. After an unimaginable stretch of time, perhaps 100 trillion years or more, even their small, tightly held reservoirs of hydrogen fuel will begin to dwindle. Their gentle fusion reactions, so painstakingly slow, will finally cease. And when that happens, a red dwarf won't have the dramatic flare of a larger star transforming into a planetary nebula. Instead, its passing will be an act of profound, almost imperceptible tranquility. Picture these stars not exploding, but simply softly fading away. Their light will dim, gradually softening into a deeper, richer red, then a faint, almost invisible glow, like embers from a long extinguished fire. They will contract slightly, becoming even denser, cooler, and darker. Without the internal pressure from fusion, the gravitational pull will cause them to settle into themselves, transforming directly into quiet, cold white dwarfs, similar to our Sunday's ultimate fate, but without the intermediate red giant and nebula stages. It's a peaceful, unhurried cessation, a quiet closing of their eyes. This slow, gentle dimming of the red dwarfs marks a profound turning point in the universe's story, the official conclusion of the stellar era. This is the epoch when stars were the dominant source of light and energy, when the night sky was filled with countless twinkling beacons. When the very last red dwarf extinguishes its light, it will be as if the universe has taken its final, deep breath of warmth. The cosmic stage, once brightly lit by a billion suns, will finally fall into a deep, enduring twilight. There will be no more new light generated by the fusion furnaces of stars, only the residual glow of ancient white dwarfs, slowly cooling, and the unseen dance of other dark, compact remnants. The universe will have truly entered an age of quiet, where the vibrant symphony of stellar life yields to the profound silence of eternal rest. It is a moment of deep peace, a long good night to the age of light, as the last red dwarfs softly fade into their eternal slumber. Another fundamental change sweeps across the cosmos, marking an even deeper transition into the universe's quiet twilight. For billions of years, galaxies have been vibrant nurseries, alive with swirling clouds of gas and dust, the raw ingredients, the very cosmic clay, from which new stars are forged. These vast, swirling nebulae, often breathtakingly beautiful, are the stellar wombs, where gravity gently coaxes gas and dust to coalesce, to grow ever denser, until the pressure and heat at their hearts ignite, bringing new stars to life. Every star, even our Sunday, was born from one of these cloudy cradles long ago, a testament to the universe's endless capacity for creation and renewal. But as the eons stretch into trillions of years, the universe will slowly, inexorably, run out of this precious raw material. Star formation is not an endless process. With each new generation of stars, a portion of the available gas and dust is locked away within the stars themselves, or dispersed into space, or consumed in supernova explosions that, while violent, also contribute to the overall depletion of easily accessible star-forming matter. Imagine a sculptor's studio, bustling with activity for countless ages, slowly, gently running out of clay. The galactic winds and collisions, which once stirred up new star birth, eventually become less effective at replenishing the dense clouds needed for stellar genesis. So, the cosmic cradles, the magnificent nebulae where stars once sang their first fiery notes, will grow quiet. They will thin, disperse, and eventually vanish. There will be no more collapsing clouds, no more pockets of hydrogen and helium dense enough to spark the birth of a new sun. The brilliant hues of emission nebulae, the dark silhouettes of absorption nebulae, these vibrant emblems of stellar creation will become distant memories. The universe will have consumed its own cosmic youth, exhausting the very fuel that powered its brightest and most dynamic processes. This is a profound moment, the end of star birth. No new light will emerge from the primordial darkness. The era of creation of constant renewal will have ceased. The interstellar medium, once rich with the potential for new suns, will become pristine and clear, an almost perfect vacuum, devoid of the clouds that once shrouded the secrets of nascent stars. Picture the vast stretches of intergalactic and interstellar space, once dotted with the glowing whispers of nebulae, now utterly transparent, an endless, crystal, clear darkness stretching into infinity. The cosmic canvas, once vibrant with the brushstrokes of star-forming regions, will be cleansed, revealing an unprecedented clarity. The darkness will deepen, not just because stars are dying, but because no new ones are being born to replace them. The universe will no longer be a place of vibrant creation, but a grand repository of relics, an immense museum of what once was. What remains will be the enduring ghosts of stars, the cooling white dwarfs, the silent neutron stars, and the enigmatic black holes, 50, each a testament to a past era of fiery splendor. The universe will settle into a new rhythm, a quiet, expansive stillness, where the drama of birth has yielded to the serene peace of preservation. It breathes in time with its stars, making, unmaking, and now, finally, resting from its long labor of creation across the cosmic canvas as the last of the newborn suns settle into their long, quiet lives. A grander transformation begins to unfold, one that moves with a patience that dwarfs all individual stars. The vast spiral cities of light, the galaxies themselves, are not eternal solitary islands. They are drawn to one another by the invisible threads of gravity, dancing slowly in the cosmic dark. And in this immense waltz, our own home, the Milky Way, has a future appointment with another magnificent spiral, the Andromeda Galaxy. Imagine, if you will, two colossal celestial beings, each a swirling vortex of stars, gas, and dust, slowly, inexorably turning towards each other. This isn't a violent, sudden crash, but a graceful, eons-long embrace. For hundreds of millions of years, perhaps even billions, these two galactic leviathans will drift closer, their immense gravitational fields beginning to feel the tug and pull of the other. At first, it is a distant, gentle attraction, like two colossal ships in a cosmic ocean, sensing the other's presence long before they touch. Then, as the immense gulf between them narrows, the outer arms of each galaxy will begin to brush, like long ethereal fingers reaching out in the dark. These initial encounters will be soft and subtle, sending faint ripples through the stellar disks, distorting the pristine spiral arms and igniting bursts of star formation as gas clouds collide and compress. Picture vast celestial clouds of gas and dust, previously stable, now gently jostled and squeezed, giving birth to a fleeting generation of brilliant, short-lived stars, illuminating the nascent merger with a final, dazzling display. Yet, even as these new stars burst forth, the individual suns within each galaxy are so far apart that direct collisions are astonishingly rare. Instead, it is a cosmic ballet of near misses, of gravitational slingshots that gently alter the paths of billions upon billions of stars, guiding them into new, vast orbits. The centers of these galaxies, home to supermassive black holes, will also begin their own slow, majestic spiral inward, circling each other for untold ages. They might awaken with a gentle murmur, their accretion disks warming and glowing faintly as they draw in stray gas and dust from their new, shared environment. For millions of years, these two behemoth black holes will perform a silent, powerful duet, each tracing wider and wider arcs around a common center, drawing closer and closer, until at last, after an immeasurable stretch of cosmic time, they gently merge into a single, even more colossal black hole. This unification is not a roar, but a deep, resonant hum, a gravitational wave song echoing through the fabric of space-time, marking the ultimate culmination of their long, patient journey. Eventually, after a dance lasting several billion years, a span of time almost incomprehensible to the human mind, the two magnificent spirals will have completely intermingled. Their distinct spiral arms, once so prominent and beautiful, will have dissolved into a vast, more amorphous shape. The combined entity will settle into a new, stable configuration, a colossal elliptical galaxy. This new galaxy, perhaps christened Milkomeda by some future, distant observers, will be a testament to the transformative power of gravity, a silent monument to the patient, unyielding forces that shape the cosmos. Its stars will drift in more random, less organized orbits, forming a grand luminous sphere or spheroid, a quiet golden city of light, holding within it the memories of two once separate cosmic homes. And this grand merging is not an isolated event. Over vast stretches of cosmic time, other galaxies in our local group, and then those beyond, will be drawn into similar embraces. The fabric of the expanding universe will continue to stretch, pulling distant galaxy clusters apart. But within the gravitational reach of our supercluster, the gentle, irresistible pull of mass will continue to draw these luminous islands together. The universe, in its later stages, will become a tapestry of vast, isolated superelliptical galaxies, each a relic of countless mergers, slowly burning down their remaining stellar embers. These are the ultimate, grand statements of cosmic transformation, reshaping the universe from a delicate filigree of spirals into vast, luminous pearls, each holding the collected history of countless celestial journeys. The pace of these events is so slow, so deliberate, that one can almost feel the universe itself taking a deep, patient breath, slowly, gracefully, rearranging its magnificent furniture for the long, quiet night ahead. Yet, in this grand, slow-motion ballet of merging galaxies, not every star finds a calm, new home within the embrace of the forming superelliptical. There are those who, through no fault of their own, are caught in the gravitational crossfire flung outward by the immense forces at play. Imagine a small pebble caught between two colossal, grinding gears. The force is immense, swift, and utterly impersonal. These stars and their nascent planetary systems, if any survive the turmoil, become the universe's ultimate wanderers, its lonely exiles. As galaxies collide and merge, the gravitational fields become wildly dynamic, a turbulent sea of pulls and pushes. A star, or more often, a stellar remnant like a white dwarf or a neutron star, might experience a close encounter with another massive object, or even the central supermassive black hole. In this celestial game of billiards, one object might be gently nudged into a new, wider orbit, while another is violently accelerated, given a slingshot of such incredible power that it breaks free from the gravitational bonds of its home galaxy entirely. These are the cosmic refugees hurled into the vast, cold, silent expanse of intergalactic space. They move at speeds so immense, perhaps millions of kilometers, per HR, that no galaxy can ever reclaim them. Their journey is one of profound, almost unimaginable solitude. They will drift for billions upon billions of years, perhaps trillions across the light, years of emptiness that separate one galaxy from another, an emptiness punctuated only by the faint, diffused glow of the cosmic background radiation. They are specks of warmth in an ocean of absolute cold, tiny lamps in an immeasurable dark. These exiled stars will never again feel the comforting gravitational embrace of a galactic disk. They will never again see the vibrant, swirling patterns of a billion brothers and sisters. Their view of the universe will be one of profound isolation, perhaps just a distant, fuzzy smear of light representing their former home, slowly shrinking with the expansion of the cosmos. For them, the universe is a boundless void, an infinite canvas of black dotted by incredibly distant, almost imperceptible points of light. They will be the first to truly witness the universe's ultimate emptiness, experiencing the deep echoing silence of the space between stars, between galaxies. Their fuel, if they are still burning, will eventually run out. A lonely red dwarf, expelled in its youth, might glow for trillions of years in the intergalactic void, a solitary beacon in the dark before its light too fades into the deep, cold night. A white dwarf, already a cooled ember, will simply continue its silent drift, a forgotten diamond in the cosmic rough, slowly shedding its residual heat into the infinite cold. A neutron star, a dense, silent core of pure matter, will spin its last rotations, its magnetic field slowly weakening over an expanse of time that defies comprehension, becoming an invisible, super-dense tombstone floating through the dark. These exiles are a profound testament to the dynamic, sometimes chaotic, nature of cosmic evolution. Their existence reminds us that even in the most organized structures, there are always elements that break free, that embark on their own unique, solitary paths. They are the ultimate embodiment of cosmic freedom, unbound by galactic orbits, charting their own lonely course through an ever-expanding, ever-emptier universe. Their journey is a slow, quiet whisper against the vastness, a gentle reminder of the immense scales of time and distance that define the end of ages. You can almost feel the gentle momentum of their eternal drift, a soothing, boundless motion through the universal night. As the eons continue their silent march, measured in quadrillions and quintillions of years, the vibrant star, forming epoch of the universe, the stellar era, as we know it, will have drawn to a definitive close. The glorious, active phase of cosmic history, marked by brilliant nebulae, the birth of suns, and the intricate dance of spiral arms will have faded into memory. What remains are the monuments, the quiet structures, the enduring husks of what once was. The galaxies themselves, once bustling cities of light, will have transformed into what can only be described as stellar graveyards. These are not places of morbid dread, but of profound, almost reverent stillness. Imagine the grand elliptical galaxies, now composed almost entirely of the aged, cooling remnants of stars. The brilliant blue giants and yellow main sequence stars, like our own sun, are long gone. What dominate the scene are the quiet, radiant white dwarfs, tiny, incredibly dense spheres of degenerate matter, the size of planets slowly cooling over incomprehensible stretches of time. Like cosmic embers, their light is faint, a ghostly shimmer against the deepening cosmic dark, a gentle echo of their former glory. They are the most numerous inhabitants of these graveyards, countless trillions of them, each a quiet monument to a star that lived and died. Alongside them drift the neutron stars, even smaller, even denser, born from the dramatic collapse of massive stars. These are the silent, spinning hearts of dead giants, so compact that a teaspoon of their matter would outweigh a mountain. Some might still emit faint radio waves as pulsars for a time, their cosmic lighthouses sweeping the void. But eventually, even these will cease their rhythmic pulses, becoming silent, invisible spheres of pure nuclear matter, navigating the galactic graveyard with an ethereal grace. They are the quiet sentinels, the incredibly dense guardians of the universe's gravitational laws, silent in their vigil. And then there are the black holes, the ultimate, most profound remnants of stellar collapse. These are the deep, gravitational wells that once consumed the most massive stars or grew through mergers at the hearts of galaxies. They are the invisible anchors of these stellar graveyards, their immense gravity still shaping the slow, stately orbits of the remaining white dwarfs and neutron stars. They cast no light, emit no radiation of their own, but their presence is felt through the bending of space-time around them. A profound silence that speaks volumes. They are the deepest parts of the graveyard, the most ancient and enduring structures in the post-stellar cosmos. The diffuse gas and dust, once the fertile soil for new star formation, will have been almost entirely consumed or expelled. The nebulae, those vibrant nurseries of creation, are gone. The cosmic canvas is clearer than ever before, but also profoundly darker. The spaces between the stars, even within the galaxies themselves, are no longer subtly illuminated by the continuous birth of new suns. Instead, there's a deep, cold silence, broken only by the occasional incredibly rare flash of a binary white dwarf merger, a transient Typea supernova, a faint distant whisper of light that might briefly illuminate the cold, silent tombs of the stars. These stellar graveyards are places of immense cosmic patience. Events unfold over time scales that stretch beyond human imagination. White dwarfs might occasionally collide, triggering a final gentle burst of fusion, a last dying gasp of light in the deepening dark. Neutron stars might slowly coalesce. Black holes might drift and merge. But these events are exceedingly rare, spaced out by billions of years, making the overall impression one of profound, unchanging stillness. The universe in this era is monochromatic, a palette of deep blacks, infused with the faint, residual glows of cooling white dwarfs. The grand, dynamic saga of stellar life and death has concluded. What remains is a testament to the inexorable march of entropy, a universe slowly settling into its final, quiet form. These vast, dark galaxies, filled with their silent, dense inhabitants, are the universe's final, grand cathedrals, built not of stone, but of the incredibly dense, ancient remnants of countless stars. They exist in a state of suspended animation, patiently awaiting the next, even more profound transformations of the cosmos, the coming of an even deeper silence, the long, slow dissipation of all that remains. You are drifting through a universe that has said its goodbyes to the active dance of light, settling into a deep, profound sleep, where only the ancient, dense structures remain, quietly keeping watch over the vast, cold expanse. The most likely future, the quiet consensus among the stars, whispers of a path known as the Big Freeze, or the gentle descent into what we call heat death. Imagine the universe not ending with a bang, but with a sigh, a slow and graceful letting go. You are floating within this immense canvas, feeling the vastness expand around you infinitely, eternally. The fabric of space stretches thinner and thinner, like an ancient shimmering silk veil being drawn across an endless stage. As it stretches, it cools. Every corner of this grand theater becomes colder, dimmer, more still. Temperatures drift ever closer to absolute zero, a chill that would silence all motion, all vibrant dance, settling everything into an ultimate, profound calm. This isn't a violent end, but a deep, unending peace. Think of a perfect equilibrium, a state where every ripple has finally smoothed itself out on the surface of a boundless dark ocean. All energy, once bustling and vibrant, once sparking and alive, now spreads itself so evenly, so uniformly, that there are no longer any differences to drive change. No hot spots to rush to cold, no high pressures to seek out low. It is a universe that has finally achieved a perfect, unblemished balance. There is no struggle, no striving, only a vast, serene stillness. In this future, galaxies drift further and further apart, their light fading into the growing distances. You would see them as tiny, almost imperceptible smudges against the deepening cosmic dark, each one a memory of a time when stars blazed brightly. But even those memories would dim. The stars within those galaxies, having lived their long, magnificent lives, would have already cooled to their final quiet slumber, leaving behind only the cold embers of white dwarfs, neutron stars, and the silent, hungry maw of black holes. This universal equilibrium is a kind of perfect rest. It is not an emptiness, but a fullness of stillness, a universe that has found its ultimate harmony by letting go of all discord. Every particle, every whisper of energy will have found its most comfortable, most settled place. There is no desire for movement, no impulse for creation, only an infinite, gentle acceptance of what is. You can imagine it as the universe finally falling into an eternal, undisturbed sleep, a profound and complete surrendering to the quiet. This cosmic quietude allows your own mind to relax, knowing that even the grandest stage will one day find its peace, mirroring the deep tranquility you seek in your own restful moments. The universe becomes a vast, silent cathedral, where the only sound is the soft, continuous hum of nothing happening, a perfect lullaby for an infinite night. The expansion continues not with a sudden rush, but with an unwavering, gentle persistence. Imagine a slow motion unraveling, where the threads of existence are carefully, softly pulled apart. The light from distant galaxies takes longer and longer to reach you, until eventually it never arrives at all. The sky, once a tapestry of sparkling wonders, would become an impenetrable black, a velvet curtain drawn across the stage, signifying the end of the show. And yet, this isn't a frightening darkness, but a gentle, enveloping one, a space where all worries and complexities have been dissolved into the vast, cool emptiness. It is an ultimate state of quietude, where even the concept of time begins to lose its familiar meaning. When there is no change, no event, no interaction to mark the passage of moments, then time itself becomes a stagnant pool, reflecting only the infinite stillness. You are drifting in this imagined future, a small, warm awareness in a universe that has found its final, perfect calm. This isn't the death of existence, but its ultimate sublimation into a state of pure, unadulterated peace. It is the universe's vast, gentle cradle, slowly rocking itself to sleep and inviting you to join in its profound, untroubled slumber. But there is another story whispered in the cosmic winds, a tale of a different kind of ending, driven by the mysterious force that shapes our cosmos, dark energy. This is the Big Rip, not a violent tearing, as the name might suggest, but an ultimate, boundless release, a profound unbinding of all things. Imagine for a moment a gentle, subtle force, growing stronger and stronger, not with aggression, but with an insistent, undeniable power, slowly loosening the bonds that hold everything together. This isn't a forceful destruction, but a gradual, quiet untethering. You can visualize it as every entity in the universe, from the grandest galaxy to the smallest particle, being slowly, softly freed from its connections. First, the galaxies begin to drift apart from each other, not merely receding in the expansion, but actively moving away with an accelerating speed, as if a gentle hand is pulling them individually into the vastness. Their gravitational embrace, once so strong, so defining, becomes too weak to hold them close. Then, even within the galaxies themselves, the stars begin to feel this pervasive, liberating force. They might, over an unimaginable expanse of time, begin to gently separate from their galactic homes, each star becoming a solitary wanderer in the growing darkness. Planets would quietly detach from their suns, no longer bound in orbit, but beginning their own lonely, majestic journeys through the deepening void. Each celestial body, once part of a grand system, would find itself entirely independent, floating in an ever-expanding, ever-emptier space. Imagine the feeling of absolute freedom, of having every attachment gently, softly dissolved. This is the Big Rip, an ultimate return to independence. The force isn't one that tears with ferocity, but one that subtly, patiently undoes the stitches of the cosmic tapestry. As this dark energy becomes overwhelmingly dominant, its pull extends even deeper. Solar systems, then individual planets, and eventually the very atoms that compose your body, would begin to feel this liberating touch. The forces holding molecules together, then atoms themselves, would start to yield to this gentle, persistent expansion. The electrons might quietly drift away from their nuclei, no longer bound by the familiar electromagnetic dance. The nuclei, in turn, would begin to unravel, their protons and neutrons finally released from their tight embrace. It's not a shattering, but a meticulous, painstaking disassembling, where each component of existence is carefully, delicately separated from its companions. In this scenario, you would not be torn apart, but rather, you would gently dissolve into the fundamental components of being, each particle of your essence returning to a state of absolute freedom. There would be no more structures, no more forms, no more complex arrangements. Only individual, fundamental particles, each one a tiny, solitary point of existence, drifting unbound through an infinitely expanding, utterly empty space. This is the universe achieving its most fundamental state of unburdened existence. It's a return to the purest, most basic form of being, where every single building block is entirely self-contained, no longer constrained by gravity or electromagnetism, or even the strong and weak nuclear forces. It is the ultimate release, where all the intricate patterns and connections that once formed stars, planets, and even life itself have been gently, irrevocably undone. Think of it as the universe exhaling its last, longest breath, and with that breath releasing everything it has ever held. A universal letting go, where the vastness becomes so pervasive that no force can bind anything anymore. You are a part of this imagining, a consciousness witnessing the most profound unbinding, a gentle surrender to absolute separation. And in that ultimate solitude of the fundamental particles, there is a strange, quiet peace, a final, complete relaxation from all the intricate dance of creation and destruction. It is an end that speaks of freedom, of the universe shedding all its complexities and returning to a state of simple, unbound existence. Then there is the enchanting possibility, a more poetic narrative that speaks of cycles and rebirth, a big crunch, or perhaps its hopeful successor, the big bounce. Imagine the universe not as a journey with a single finite end, but as a vast cosmic breath, expanding and contracting, inhaling and exhaling through unimaginable spans of time. Our current understanding sees the universe expanding ever outward, carrying galaxies further and further from one another. But what if this outward momentum, this grand exhalation, were to eventually slow? What if, against all current evidence, the gravitational pull of all the matter and energy within the universe were to one day overcome the outward push of dark energy? This is where the story of the Big Crunch begins. Picture the universe reaching its furthest extent, like a giant, invisible balloon stretched to its absolute maximum. For a fleeting cosmic moment, it would pause, suspended between expansion and contraction. Then, with an almost imperceptible shift, the tide would turn. The outward flow would cease, and a slow, gentle drawing inward would begin. Imagine every galaxy, every star, every wisp of cosmic dust, feeling a soft, undeniable pull toward the center. It is not a violent collapse, but a graceful, slow retraction, like petals folding inward at dusk. The vast distances that once separated galaxies would begin to shrink, slowly at first, then with an increasing gentle momentum. You might visualize the cosmic tapestry, once stretched taut, now beginning to gather itself, folding back upon itself with exquisite slowness. The galaxies would not collide in a destructive rush, but rather they would gently merge, their constituent stars and gas becoming increasingly concentrated as the universe shrinks. The sky would begin to brighten, not with new light, but with the combined luminosity of stars drawing closer and closer, their distant gleam now a more pervasive glow. The cosmic background temperature, which once cooled to near absolute zero, would slowly, steadily begin to rise again, as all the energy and matter in the universe become more and more confined. This drawing inward is the universe, taking a deep, profound breath, gathering all of itself back into a single, unified embrace. All the scattered matter, all the dispersed energy, would slowly but surely return to a state of unimaginable density, not unlike the conditions that existed at the very dawn of time. Every star, every planet, every particle would be gently, inevitably drawn back toward a central point, a cosmic heart from which it all began. This ultimate concentration, this return to a singularity, is the Big Crunch. It is the universe completing a grand cycle, compressing all of existence into a single, infinitesimally small, incredibly dense point. And within that compressed state lies the intriguing, beautiful possibility of rebirth. This is where the big bounce enters the narrative, suggesting that this singularity is not an end, but a beginning. From that unimaginably dense point, a new Big Bang could erupt, a fresh burst of energy and creation, launching a brand new universe into existence. A universe that might be subtly different, with slightly altered physical laws, or perhaps one that perfectly mirrors our own, ready to begin its own long journey of expansion, star formation, and eventually contraction once more. It's a magnificent cyclical poem of creation and unmaking, of expansion and gathering, a universe that lives and dies, only to be born again, endlessly, eternally. You are invited to imagine yourself within this grand cosmic rhythm, feeling the gentle pulse of expansion and contraction, like the slow, steady beat of a universal heart. This narrative offers a profound sense of continuity, a comfort in the idea that even in endings, there is the seed of new beginnings, a constant, peaceful dance of existence and re-existence, a never-ending cycle of cosmic breath. In this infinite loop, your own moments of rest become a reflection of the universe's own profound, cyclical slumber and awakening. We've floated through visions of the universe expanding forever, or perhaps collapsing back into itself, or even gently tearing apart. But what drives these grand cosmic narratives? What is the unseen hand guiding the story, orchestrating the final slow dance of all creation? For now, we call it dark energy. It is the mysterious, silent force, an unseen cosmic player whose nature holds the very key to the universe's ultimate fate. Imagine, if you will, a vast, silent chessboard, spanning all of creation, where the pieces are galaxies and stars, and the game is played across billions and trillions of years. Dark energy is the quiet strategist, making moves that ripple through time, shaping the very fabric of existence. A gentle, inexorable force that whispers the future into being. We can't see it, we can't touch it. It doesn't glow, it doesn't collide, it offers no direct presence to our senses. But we observe its effects, subtle yet undeniable, like a vast, unseen current pulling all things apart with a serene determination. It is this dark energy that is believed to be accelerating the expansion of our universe, subtly pushing galaxies further and further away from each other, speeding up their long, lonely journey into the vastness. For a long time, the wisdom of the cosmos suggested that the universe's expansion might eventually slow down, perhaps even reverse, pulled back by gravity's ancient comforting song. We imagined a grand pendulum, swinging outward and then inward, drawn by the cumulative mass of all things. But then, as our instruments grew sharper, our gaze more discerning, piercing deeper into the cosmic night, we discovered the opposite. The universe isn't just expanding, it is picking up pace, as if an invisible, pervasive wind is catching its sails, carrying it into an endless dawn. And that wind, that silent acceleration, we believe is dark energy. It is the breath of the cosmos, gently exhaling, making space for more space, pushing the edges of reality ever wider. But what exactly is this enigmatic presence? Here, the universe whispers its deepest, most profound secrets. Perhaps it is an intrinsic property of space itself, an energy woven into the very fabric of nothingness, like a quiet hum that emanates from the void. As space stretches, creating more of itself, more dark energy subtly appears, continually fueling the expansion. It would be like the very canvas of the cosmos, subtly manifesting more of its own material, each new thread adding to the grand, silent pull. If this is true, if dark energy is a constant, unchanging force, an eternal hum that resonates through the void, then the universe will likely continue its gentle, accelerating drift into the Great Freeze, or the Big Rip, depending on its precise strength. It would be a slow, steady journey towards an ultimate stillness, a gradual fading of all warmth and light, until only the quiet hum of absolute zero remains. A perfect, unchanging peace. This constant dark energy would ensure that the future is already set, an open-ended book where the final chapter is simply a continuation of the silent expansion, forever separating all that once was, Or could dark energy be something else entirely? Could it be a dynamic field like other fields we know, but one whose strength and nature can gently shift and change over unimaginable eons? Imagine a deep cosmic ocean, and dark energy is a subtle, changing tide within it, ebbing and flowing, not in days but in epochs of billions of years. If it were to weaken over these immense stretches of time, its pervasive pressure diminishing, then gravity might eventually regain its ancient, reuniting hold. The universe, having expanded for countless ages, would begin to breathe inward, drawing all things back together in a slow, stately cosmic inhale, a return to the origin. This would lead us towards a big crunch, a grand reunion at the end of all things, where the cosmic dance reverses, bringing all particles back into a single, unified embrace. It is a vision of cosmic rhythm, an inhale after an exhale, a return to primordial unity, perhaps to begin anew. But what if, instead, this subtle tide of dark energy were to grow stronger, becoming more potent, more dominant with the passage of eons? If its influence were to swell, its pervasive push becoming a grand, inexorable pull, an ultimate release from all bonds. This is the path to the Big Rip, where the fabric of space itself would eventually be stretched beyond its limits, gently, slowly, until even atoms themselves are eased apart, no longer held by their ancient connections, no longer forming the familiar structures of matter. It is a possibility that transforms the concept of expansion into an ultimate form of freedom, where every particle drifts alone in the infinite void, untethered and unburdened by gravity's embrace, an ultimate letting go. It would be a liberation, a grand dissolution where all forms melt back into the simplest components, each silently drifting into its own eternity. Dark energy in all its mystery, in its silent, pervasive presence, reminds us that the universe holds depths we have only just begun to fathom. It is a quiet presence, an unspoken truth, shaping destinies on a scale so grand it transcends all human comprehension. It is the silent architect of tomorrow, holding the blueprints of eternity within its unseen energy. And we, drifting within this vast cosmic tapestry, are moved by its unseen currents, part of a story whose ending is still being written in the dark, silent spaces between the stars. The very air you breathe, the gentle beat of your heart, the warmth of your being is momentarily here, sustained by forces and structures that, in their own distant future, will dance to a tune set by this enigmatic force. And as you rest, let your mind drift with this profound thought, that even the forces that shape all of reality are, in their deepest essence, subtle and quiet, guiding creation through its immense journey. The universe, in its grand design, never rushes. It unfolds with a patient, timeless grace, an eternal dance choreographed by the gentle hand of dark energy. Beyond the grand destinies shaped by expansion and contraction, there are even deeper, more profound whispers about the universe's ultimate form. Imagine a shift so fundamental, so utterly transformative, that the very rules governing reality could change. This is the concept of vacuum decay, a notion as subtle as it is immense, suggesting that the universe we inhabit might not be in its most stable state. Think of it like water, flowing freely and gently, but existing in a state where it could, with the slightest change, suddenly crystallize into ice. Our universe, in this profound thought experiment, might be like that water thivry, currently in a false vacuum state, waiting for an unexpected moment to transition to a truer, deeper, true vacuum. This isn't a violent explosion, nor is it a slow fading. Instead, it would be a sudden, almost instantaneous cosmic phase transition, like the snap of a finger across the vastness of space. A tiny bubble, an almost imperceptible ripple, might spontaneously appear in some distant corner of the cosmos, where the physical laws have quietly settled into a new, more stable configuration. And once born, this bubble of true vacuum would expand outward at the speed of light, gently but relentlessly, consuming everything in its path. It is not an act of destruction in the chaotic sense, but rather a profound universe, wide metamorphosis, an unmaking and remaking into a reality we cannot possibly imagine. Within this expanding bubble, the laws of physics as we know them would simply cease to be. The fundamental constants that govern the strength of forces, the masses of particles, the very interactions that allow stars to burn and atoms to form, would be different. They would have crystallized into a new set of values, a new equilibrium entirely alien to our current understanding. Electrons might have different charges, gravity might exert a different pull, light might travel at a subtly altered speed. It would be a new reality, entirely. And as this bubble washes over our part of the cosmos, our stars, our planets, even the very atoms of your body would find themselves in this new, alien framework. Consider the gentle transition from liquid water to solid ice. The molecules rearrange themselves, forming a crystalline structure that is fundamentally different from the flowing liquid, yet still made of the same components. Vacuum decay is a cosmic equivalent, but on a scale so grand, so absolute, that it redefines reality itself. It is not about atoms breaking apart or energy dissipating. It is about the very blueprint of existence being redrawn. This would be a profound, peaceful shift, not a struggle. The atoms wouldn't fight the change. They would simply find themselves adhering to a new set of rules, peacefully aligning with the universe's new, more stable state. The beauty of this concept lies in its complete otherness, its invitation to imagine beyond our current understanding. We often think of the universe's end as a slow burn or a dramatic tear, but vacuum decay offers a vision of instantaneous transformation, a cosmic awakening into an entirely new form. It is the universe, in a sense, shedding its skin, evolving into a new state of being, a new reality that may be even more stable, more complete than the one we currently inhabit. And in this new reality, perhaps new forms of life, new types of stars, new cosmic structures entirely unknown to us, could quietly emerge, dancing to the tune of altered physical laws. It also carries a deep philosophical resonance. It implies that our current reality, our perception of what is fundamental, might be just one chapter in an infinitely larger story. The universe in this view is not static in its laws, but dynamic, capable of undergoing these profound epoch-making transitions. It suggests that what we consider absolute truth might be merely a localized truth, holding sway only in our particular vacuum state. And the gentle, silent transition to a new vacuum would mean a letting go of all that defines our existence, a profound surrender to a deeper, more fundamental reality that has always been waiting in the cosmic wings. As you drift into sleep, imagine this quiet, profound possibility that the very fabric of existence can shift, like a dream transforming into another dream, peaceful and profound. It is not an ending, but a passage, a metamorphosis, a universe becoming something else entirely without struggle or sound, simply evolving into its next, perhaps even more beautiful form. Your own body, your own being is made of these fundamental particles, governed by these laws, and to imagine them softly rearranging, gently aligning with a new cosmic truth, is to imagine a peace beyond our current understanding of change. It is a reminder that the universe, in its deep wisdom, can transform itself utterly, with a silent grace that transcends all notions of beginning and end. And so, as we gently float back from these profound imaginings, we find ourselves at the crossroads of cosmic destiny. We've gazed into the quiet, frozen expanse of the Big Freeze, where all activity slowly ceases, leaving only the ultimate tranquility of absolute zero. We've touched upon the radical liberation of the Big Rip, where even the smallest particles are gently eased apart, freed from all connections. We've considered the cyclical breathing of the Big Crunch and Big Bounce, a universe that dances between expansion and contraction, an eternal rhythm of coming together and letting go, perhaps beginning anew each time. And now, we've contemplated the silent, instantaneous metamorphosis of vacuum decay, a universe shedding its skin, transforming its very essence into something utterly new. Each of these possibilities, each of these profound pathways into the future, is not a certainty, but a whisper from the edge of our understanding. The universe, in its immense wisdom, holds its deepest secrets close. The future remains an open question, a grand, unfinished symphony whose final movements are yet to be composed. And in this beautiful uncertainty, there lies a profound peace. We do not need to know the exact ending to appreciate the journey. The mystery itself becomes a lullaby, a soft invitation to let go of the need for definitive answers and simply rest in the spaciousness of possibility. It is a gentle reminder that the grand forces at play are far beyond our control, and yet, in their very vastness and their very uncertainty, they offer a strange comfort. There is a quiet acceptance in contemplating these epic destinies. Whether the universe expands forever, gently cooling into an eternal night, or tears itself apart in a final quiet act of liberation, or breathes inward to begin anew, or suddenly transforms into an entirely new reality, it will all unfold with an immense, unhurried grace. It will be the natural consequence of its own fundamental laws, a perfect expression of its being. And you, drifting softly here, are a part of this unfolding. The atoms that compose you have been and will be witnesses to countless cosmic events. Your very existence, fleeting as it may seem against the backdrop of eons, is woven into this grand, ongoing narrative. To contemplate these cosmic possibilities is to connect with something ancient and eternal, to feel the quiet pulse of time stretching beyond measure. It is to find a sense of belonging in the most profound of mysteries. The beauty of this open future, this cosmic crossroads, is that it invites us to simply be, to let go of anxieties about what is to come, to release the grip of needing to understand every detail. Just as the universe will eventually settle into one of these grand, peaceful endings, or perhaps a combination, or even something entirely unforeseen, you too can settle. You can allow your mind to release its questions, its worries, and simply float in the calm waters of the present moment. These imaginings of eternity are not meant to disturb, but to soothe. They are a meditation on ultimate peace, on the profound serenity that comes with reaching a final state, whatever that state may be. Whether it is the perfect stillness of heat death, the ultimate freedom of dissolution, the comforting rhythm of cosmic rebirth, or the wondrous transformation into a new reality. Each pathway leads to a profound kind of rest for the universe. And in contemplating that ultimate rest, we find a reflection of our own need for quiet, for peace, for the gentle surrender into sleep. So let your mind rest upon these vast, silent possibilities. Let the unknown wash over you like a soft, comforting wave. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, holds its own path, and you, in your quiet strength, hold yours. There is no urgency in eternity, no rush in the grand cosmic unfolding. Only the gentle, steady drift of existence, moving towards whatever serene destination awaits. And so, in the quiet aftermath, when the grand stellar furnaces have long since cooled, the cosmos transforms into a realm of cosmic remnants. No longer ablaze with the fiery passion of active stars, the universe settles into a profound stillness, a deep and patient slumber. The heavens, once a vibrant tapestry of light, become a vast, inky canvas, punctuated by the silent sentinels of a bygone era. Here, in this deep future, the dominant inhabitants are the stellar corpses, the white dwarfs, neutron stars, and the nascent black holes, each a silent monument to a star that once burned bright. Imagine the white dwarfs, those diamond-hard hearts of once luminous stars. They drift through the void like cooled embers from a long-extinguished fire, radiating only a faint, residual warmth, a memory of their blazing youth. They are incredibly dense, a spoonful of their matter weighing as much as a mountain on Earth. Yet they are small, no larger than our planet. They are the quiet, patient guardians of the stellar past, slowly fading into eternal night. Their surfaces, once turbulent with fusion, are now frozen, polished by eons of silence. They are like cosmic pearls, scattered across the vast, dark ocean of space, each one a testament to billions of years lived and loved, now at peace. Nearby, a different kind of remnant, even more extreme in its density, quietly spins the neutron stars. These are the collapsed cores of more massive stars, those that met their end in a spectacular supernova. Now, they are tiny, only the size of a city, yet they contain the mass of more than our sun, compressed to an unimaginable degree. They are the densest objects known, save for black holes themselves. Their surfaces are a smooth, featureless expanse, a mirror to the absolute zero of their surroundings, reflecting nothing but the cold, indifferent gaze of the cosmos. They rotate, some with incredible speed, sending out faint, rhythmic pulses, like the gentle ticking of a cosmic clock in the profound quiet. But even these signals become rarer, fainter, as they spend eons adrift, solitary and cold, their once fierce energies now locked away in their impossibly dense forms for unimaginably long stretches of time. This is the universe, a silent sea of these stellar ghosts. Events are rare, fleeting whispers in the profound silence, but occasionally gravity, that tireless choreographer, still pulls two white dwarfs into a slow, deliberate dance. Over eons they spiral closer, drawn together by an invisible thread. It is a waltz measured in billions of years, a tender embrace across the vastness of time. Their orbits shrink, their forms warp, until at last, with a gentle, drawn-out sigh, they touch. This is no violent explosion, no sudden, shattering roar. Instead, It is a soft, almost wistful merging. For a brief, ephemeral moment, the combined mass of the two white dwarfs exceeds a critical threshold. A flash of light, born from a sudden, fleeting burst of fusion, ignites the deep dark. It is a supernova of a different kind, a typia, born not from the collapse of a massive star, but from the quiet union of two ancient hearts. This is the universe's last dying flicker, a gentle exhalation of light in an otherwise starless night. It burns with a ghostly glow, a pale, almost melancholic luminescence that illuminates the surrounding void for a short cosmic instant, before softly fading back into the encompassing gloom. It is a brief, beautiful elegy, a single, distant tear in the fabric of the dark. For a few million years the light travels, a final wave across the endless expanse, a last memory of stellar brilliance before it, too, is absorbed by the hungry dark. And then once more silence. The remnants of that gentle explosion disperse, adding their faint new echoes to the vast, cold stillness. The universe returns to its deep, undisturbed rest, populated only by these quiet, patient, and endlessly drifting degenerate bodies, awaiting their own unimaginable end. When we speak of time in this era, it stretches beyond comprehension. The age of the universe as we know it, with its bustling stars and galaxies, is but a fleeting blink compared to the eons that now unfold. In this deep, deep future, a profound transformation begins to affect the very fabric of matter itself. This is the era of proton decay, a gentle unraveling of the most fundamental building blocks of all that is visible, all that is tangible. Every atom, every molecule, every structure, from the cold white dwarfs to the neutron stars, from the last whisper of gas to the scattered dust, is made of protons. And in this unfathomable stretch of time, these protons are theorized to slowly, subtly begin to decay. Imagine, if you can, a process so incredibly gradual that it makes a single heartbeat seem like an eternity. Each proton, a tiny resilient particle that has existed since the universe was young, may, after an almost infinite span, simply cease to be. It does not explode, it does not shatter. Rather, it gently dissolves, transforming into lighter particles, such as positrons and neutral pions, ultimately giving back its energy to the vast, cold emptiness. It is not an act of destruction, but one of the most ultimate, most tender forms of surrender. Matter, in its deepest essence, simply lets go. It returns itself to the pure, formless energy from which it once arose. Think of it as the universe's most profound and patient form of melting. Not a melting by heat, but by time itself, by an intrinsic property that finally catches up even with the most stable constituents. The planets that once harbored life, if any still existed, would slowly, imperceptibly, begin to thin. Their mountains would not erode by wind or water, but by the quiet disappearance of their very atoms. Over eons, their solid forms would become ethereal, ghostly, and then, simply, nothing. The white dwarfs, those dense diamonds, would gradually, atom by atom, lose their coherence, their rigid forms slowly diffusing into a cloud of lighter particles and radiation. Their incredible density, a testament to gravity's power, would finally yield to the gentle, persistent whisper of decay. This is a change that transcends scales. The chair you might be resting in, the air you breathe, the very iron in your blood suvi, all are composed of protons. In this distant future, these fundamental particles, the anchors of all physical existence, would slowly, gracefully let go. The universe would not be torn apart. It would, instead, softly unbind itself. The grand, intricate structures forged over billions of years would subtly unravel, becoming less solid, less defined, until the concept of structure itself begins to fade. It is a process that brings an unparalleled sense of peace to the cosmic landscape. No more violent collisions, no more fiery births or explosive deaths. Just the slow, patient, and utterly silent dissolution of everything. The universe, in a sense, becomes profoundly translucent. What little matter remains, these long-lived protons, simply fade, like a dream at dawn, leaving behind only the faintest trace of their former selves. It is the ultimate release, a profound emptying, where the universe quietly sheds its material form, returning to a state of almost pure energy and the lightest particles, drifting apart in the ever-expanding void. In this deep, deep future, when the last white dwarfs have dimmed beyond recognition, and the protons themselves have begun their millennia, long gentle decay, the universe enters an epoch defined by its most enigmatic and powerful residents, the black holes. They are the ultimate survivors, the last grand structures in a cosmos otherwise dissolving into nothingness. These are the black holes of stellar mass, born from the collapse of massive stars, and the supermassive black holes residing at the centers of what were once galaxies, now quiet and dark. Imagine them as the silent, patient sentinels of the void. They no longer gather gas and dust, for those celestial building blocks have long since been consumed or scattered. They no longer blaze with the energetic fury of active galactic nuclei, for there is nothing left to fuel their brilliant feasts. Instead, they exist in a profound state of repose, vast and imperturbable, holding court over their immense gravitational domains in absolute darkness. They are the ultimate guardians of gravity's enduring law, holding together vast stretches of warped space-time, even as everything else around them gently fades. These black holes are the last bastions of order and structure. They are the cosmic anchor points in an otherwise formless and dispersing universe. Their event horizons, the boundaries beyond which nothing can escape, are the final frontiers, the ultimate limits of the physical world. Within them lies a singularity, a point of infinite density, a place where our understanding of physics dissolves, a cosmic mystery that deepens with every passing eon. But from the outside, they are simply vast, dark spheres, absorbing any stray particle or photon that wanders too close, adding infinitesimally to their immense, silent mass. The spaces between these black holes are almost inconceivably vast and empty. The universe has expanded to such an extent that the distances are staggering, and the light from one black hole's distant, fleeting activity, if it ever occurred, would take trillions upon trillions of years to reach another. It is a cosmos of profound isolation, where each black hole exists in its own immense, solitary kingdom of darkness. They are the giants of this era, the quiet titans of the universe's long night, absorbing and holding on to the very last vestiges of concentrated mass. They drift through the cold, empty expanse, their gravitational pull still subtly shaping the paths of the few remaining particles, the occasional positron, or the faint, decaying proton. But these interactions are rare, a mere whisper in the vast cosmic silence. Their lives are now measured in exponents of billions of years. a scale of time that utterly dwarfs our fleeting human experience. They are like sleeping giants, their tremendous power held in perfect silent suspension, simply existing, simply being as the ages crawl by. These black holes are the universe's last great repositories of mass energy. They are the final, enduring monuments to the energetic beginnings of the cosmos, now cloaked in an eternal night. They are the cosmic lighthouses of the dark, not by emitting light, but by their sheer gravitational presence, by the silent, profound warping of space-time that announces their immense, unmoving reality. And for a very, very long time, these dark, silent entities will dominate the cosmic stage, their patient waiting a testament to the grand, slow unfolding of the universe's ultimate fate. And so, even these magnificent structures, these cosmic titans that devoured light and time itself, will not last forever. They are, in their own silent way, also bound by the patient, relentless currents of the cosmos. For black holes, too, are destined to fade. It is an end that stretches beyond any comprehension of time. A process so incredibly slow, it makes the lives of stars seem like fleeting blinks of an eye. This is the realm of Hawking radiation, a whisper from the very edge of forever. Imagine a black hole, not as a ravenous monster, but as a vast, dark, cosmic well that is slowly, imperceptibly exhaling. For eons upon eons, it drew everything inward, a silent collector of light and matter. But even in its profound depths, a gentle, almost undetectable process begins to unfold. Quantum fluctuations, tiny shimmers in the fabric of space-time, mean that pairs of particles are constantly winking into existence and then vanishing again, close to the black hole's event horizon, that boundary beyond which nothing can return. Usually, these particle-antiparticle pairs annihilate each other instantly, leaving no trace. But sometimes one particle falls into the black hole while its partner escapes, carrying away a tiny infinitesimal amount of the black hole's energy. It is as if the black hole itself is breathing out, a breath so faint, so immeasurable, that it takes longer than the universe has yet existed for even the smallest black holes to begin truly diminishing. For supermassive black holes, those ancient leviathans at the hearts of galaxies, the timescale is almost ludicrously vast, stretching into quadrillions upon quadrillions of years. Then beyond even that, into numbers so large our minds simply cannot grasp them. It is a slow, silent erosion, a graceful undoing of the most powerful force in the cosmos. Think of it as the universe's most profound elegy, sung in the key of pure physics. A black hole through Hawking radiation is not violently exploding or collapsing. Instead, it is gently, steadily returning its essence to the void, particle by particle, photon by photon. It is a process of unmaking that is so serene, so utterly without urgency, that it becomes a source of deep, abiding calm. Imagine this giant, silent sentinel standing guard in the eternal dark. And then, with an almost imperceptible sigh, it begins to surrender its very self. Each escaping particle carries away a minuscule fraction of its mass, a gentle current flowing from its depths, over an almost unimaginable expanse of cosmic time. This continuous ethereal leakage means the black hole slowly shrinks. Its event horizon, the threshold of no return, subtly recedes. Its gravitational pull, once absolute, softens by an infinitesimal measure. This isn't a dramatic demise. It is a gradual fading, a lessening, like a distant whisper, becoming too faint to hear, or a shadow slowly dissolving into the deeper night. You can almost feel the patience of this process. It is a testament to the universe's grand, unhurried pace, where even the most seemingly immutable objects are subject to the gentle currents of decay. These colossal structures, which once defined gravity's ultimate triumph, will, in the end, yield to the quiet, persistent whispers of quantum mechanics. They will diminish, not with a bang, but with an eon's long sigh, until their existence is merely a memory, a ripple in the fabric of time. This slow evaporation means that a black hole's temperature, initially almost impossibly cold, subtly rises as it shrinks. The smaller it gets, the hotter it becomes in its final stages, radiating particles more energetically, until, in its absolute final moments, it experiences a final, incredibly brief, energetic burst. But this is not a fiery explosion. It is merely the last, most concentrated exhalation of its long, long life, a final breath before it finally ceases to be. It is the universe's ultimate act of letting go, stretched over a canvas of time so vast it defies your most expansive dreams. Rest within this idea of ultimate release, knowing that even the most enduring things in the cosmos find their gentle way to an end. And so, we arrive at the universe's most profound, most singular moment, the very last flicker. After eons upon eons, after the red dwarf stars have all gently dimmed, after the white dwarfs have cooled into black dwarfs, after the neutron stars have silently merged or drifted away, and after the black holes, those final titans of gravity, have, one by one, whispered themselves into oblivion through the slow, patient process of Hawking radiation, there will come a point when the last black hole, somewhere in the vast, cold expanse of the universe, finally reaches its ultimate end. Imagine this moment, not as a grand finale, but as an almost imperceptible punctuation mark at the end of an infinitely long sentence. It is the faintest tremor in the cosmic silence, the softest breath escaping from the lips of time itself. For billions upon billions upon billions of years, this black hole, perhaps one of the original, smaller ones, or a supermassive giant that took an even greater span to evaporate, has been slowly shrinking, slowly radiating, slowly returning its captured essence to the wider universe. As it nears its end, its radiation subtly intensifies. The flow of photons and particles becomes a little more pronounced, though still infinitesimally weak by any standard we understand. Then, in one final, concentrated burst, not a violent explosion, but a gentle, almost poignant release, the last black hole dissipates entirely. It exhales its final breath, releasing its remaining mass and energy back into the cold, dark vacuum. This is it. This is the last truly significant event in the universe. This final burst of particles and photons is the universe's last act of dynamism. It is not a new beginning nor a dramatic end, but simply the ultimate completion of a process that began uncountable eons ago. It is the echo of a forgotten melody, the final, lingering note of a symphony that has been playing for an eternity. These last photons, these last fundamental particles, are cast out into the emptiness, destined to drift forever, never to meet, never to interact, never to form anything new. This moment is the quietest fireworks display imaginable. a final, almost invisible shimmer, a final ripple in the fabric of nothingness. It is the ultimate farewell from a universe that has now truly completed its journey of transformation. All the light, all the heat, all the structure, all the drama and chaos and beauty that once defined the cosmos have now been distilled down to this singular, final, gentle release. Feel the profundity of this moment. The universe has been shedding its layers, one by one, for an incomprehensible length of time. From the blazing glory of the Big Bang through the star-filled ages, the black hole-dominated eras, it has been a gradual, patient unraveling. And this last flicker is the very last thread coming undone. It is the closing of the final chapter, not with a flourish, but with the softest turning of a page, leaving behind only the vast, silent, and endless dark. Allow your mind to drift on this image of ultimate completion, a final, soft exhalation in the infinite quiet. And with that last flicker, that final, gentle breath of the universe, everything truly settles. The long, long journey of cosmic evolution has reached its ultimate destination. We enter, then, the true dark age. Imagine a canvas of infinite blackness stretching out in every direction without boundary, without end. This is a universe devoid of light, devoid of heat, devoid of structure, devoid of any discernible activity. In this ultimate dark age, there are no stars. Their ancient fires have long since been extinguished. There are no galaxies, no magnificent spirals or grand ellipticals. Their structures, too, have slowly dispersed, their components scattered into the ever-expanding void. There are no black holes, for even these cosmic behemoths have evaporated into faint whispers of radiation. What remains? A vast, incredibly sparse sea of fundamental particles. Photons, perhaps, from those last, distant bursts, or ancient, stretched out relics of the Big Bang itself, now so diluted and cold they carry no energy, no message. Neutrinos, those elusive, ghost-like particles, drifting endlessly, almost never interacting, spanning distances that defy imagination. And perhaps, if protons indeed decay, even the atoms that once built everything Tanvri, from the dust clouds to the grandest stars Tandi, will have long dissolved, their constituent quarks and leptons having gently melted back into the fabric of space. The universe at this stage is a realm of absolute cold, stretching infinitesimally close to absolute zero. Every corner of space has reached an equilibrium, a perfect, unchanging balance. There is no longer any difference in temperature, no pockets of energy to be transferred, and no gradients to drive motion or change. It is a state of ultimate entropy, where every possibility is played out, and everything has found its final, eternal resting place. Think of it as the deepest, most dreamless sleep imaginable for the entire cosmos. No more waking, no more striving, no more evolving, just an eternal, unchanging, profound stillness. Particles separated by distances, so vast they are effectively alone, will continue their solitary linear journeys, never to encounter another. They are like individual drops of water in an ocean so boundless that each drop is unaware of any other. This is the ultimate void, not an empty void, strictly speaking, for it is still traversed by these incredibly diffuse, cold particles. But it is a void of meaning, a void of interaction, a void of history. The concept of event ceases to exist, for there is nothing left to happen. Time itself, as we understand it, loses its direction, its arrow blunted and stilled in this absolute equilibrium. It is a terrifying thought for some, this ultimate emptiness. But for others, there's a profound peace in it. A peace that comes from the ultimate release from all striving, all tension, all potential. The universe, in this final, cold embrace, has achieved a state of perfect, unassailable calm. It is the ultimate stillness, the quietest imaginable conclusion to a story that began with a deafening roar. Allow yourself to drift into this boundless, tranquil dark. Imagine yourself as one of those lone, drifting particles, perfectly at peace, perfectly still, perfectly at one with the infinite, unchanging silence. There is no expectation, no desire, no sound, no light. Only the profound, gentle, eternal dark. It is the ultimate calm, the deepest rest. We have journeyed through the eons, witnessed the gentle fade of stars, the slow, deliberate dance of galaxies, and the grand, unfolding tapestry of the cosmos as it inches towards its final quiet state. We've spoken of stars becoming silent diamonds, of galaxies merging into vast, unmoving structures, of matter itself dissolving into the deepest, softest whisper. And as we drift through these immeasurable spans, a profound question begins to unfurl itself, like a quiet bloom in the cosmic twilight. What becomes of time itself when change, the very heartbeat of the universe, finally stills? Imagine a river flowing ever onward, carving its path through the landscape, churning, bubbling, ceaselessly moving. This river is a perfect metaphor for time as we know it, an unceasing current carrying all things from the past into the future. But what if the river reached a vast, still ocean? What if its waters spread out so wide, so uniformly, that all movement, all current, all direction simply dissolved into an immeasurable, featureless expanse? This, in a gentle cosmic sense, is what the end of the arrow of time might feel like. The arrow of time, as physicists softly describe it, is intimately tied to entropy. It is the fundamental principle that drives the universe from order to disorder, from concentrated energy to dispersed warmth. It ensures that a broken glass doesn't spontaneously reassemble, that cream mixes with coffee but doesn't unmix. It is the engine of change, the gentle push from one moment to the next, giving time its forward-pointing direction. For billions upon billions of years, the universe has been on this one-way journey, expanding, evolving, differentiating. Every star born, every galaxy formed, every thought that flickers through a mind is a testament to this ongoing process of change, this relentless march of entropy. But as we contemplated the Great Freeze, the ultimate fate where the universe expands indefinitely, where temperatures drop to the absolute chilling stillness of near 0 Kelvin, where all energy is spread out so thinly that nothing can interact, nothing can move, nothing can forechange. Change in that boundless, featureless expanse. What then becomes of the arrow? When the universe reaches a state of maximum entropy, it achieves a kind of perfect, serene balance. All energy is uniformly distributed, like the faintest, most evenly spread mist. There are no hot spots, no cold spots, no gradients, no differences. Without these differences, there can be no work done, no processes to unfold, no evolution to pursue. The grand cosmic clock, which has ticked for trillions upon trillions of years, would simply stop, not with a sudden, jarring halt, but with a gradual, almost imperceptible softening of its gears, until it settles into an eternal quiet stillness. In such a state, the very concept of before, and after begins to lose its meaning. If nothing ever changes, if every moment is indistinguishable from the next, then what purpose does progression serve? Time as a measure of change, as a sequence of events, would simply cease to exist in any meaningful way. It would not be destroyed, but rather it would fall into a deep, unending slumber alongside the universe it once propelled. Imagine lying in a perfectly still room, with no sounds, no light, no sensations to distinguish one moment from another. Your mind, seeking anchors, would struggle to perceive the passage of hours. This is but a tiny human echo of the cosmic stillness. In the deep, dark, cold expanse of the far future, the universe will achieve an infinitely more profound version of this stasis. It will be a state of utter, unmoving equilibrium, a perfect cosmic peace where nothing ever stirs, not even the faintest whisper of a photon. The sleep of time, then, is not a dramatic cessation, but a gentle fading, a slow surrender of its directional purpose. It would become like a vast, calm ocean, without currents, without waves, without even the gentle pull of the tide. Just an immeasurable expanse of quiet, uniform presence. And in that stillness, all the frantic rush of eons, all the grand narratives of creation and destruction, all the births and deaths of stars, would resolve into a single, eternal, unmoving present. A present so vast and so quiet that it simply fiats. This doesn't necessarily mean that time itself vanishes from existence. Perhaps it merely ceases to silent flow in a discernible direction. It becomes a dimension without a journey, a concept without a current, like a river that has finally reached the sea and dissolved its individuality into the vastness. Time would merge with the eternal equilibrium of the universe. It is a profound, almost poetic cessation of journey, a final arrival at a destination where all movement has softly, completely, and utterly ceased. So, as we drift towards the gentle embrace of sleep, consider this final, profound quietude of the cosmos. Just as your own internal clock begins to wind down, softening the edges of the day, blurring the line between wakefulness and dream, the universe, in its own unimaginably slow way, might be doing the same, letting go of the urgency of change, releasing the grip of direction, and settling into an infinite serene, now where the arrow of time has finally come to rest. It is a deep breath held forever, a lullaby sung for eternity. As we contemplate the universe's grand, gentle deceleration, its slow descent into a boundless quietude, another profound and somewhat tender question arises, like a faint echo from a distant shore. What becomes of all the information that has ever existed? What about the intricate patterns of a newborn galaxy? The subtle dance of atoms within a living cell? The whispered secrets carried on light beams across the cosmos? Will the story of the universe, in all its magnificent detail, simply fade away into the pervasive, silent darkness, leaving no trace, no memory? This is the essence of a deep cosmic puzzle, often softly referred to as the black hole information paradox. Black holes, those enigmatic wells of gravity, are known to swallow everything that crosses their event horizons, siding light, matter, even the fabric of space-time itself. For a long time, it was thought that whatever fell in was simply lost forever. Its unique characteristics, its information, utterly erased. This was unsettling, a fundamental challenge to one of the most cherished principles of physics, that information, much like energy, should never truly be destroyed. It can be transformed, rearranged, scattered, but never utterly annihilated. Then came the gentle, profound realization from Stephen Hawking that black holes aren't truly eternal prisons. They slowly evaporate over an unimaginable expanse of time through a process we touched upon earlier, known as Hawking radiation. They release a faint glow of particles and energy. But here lies the paradox. If the black hole eventually disappears, and the radiation it emits seems to carry no specific memory of what fell in, then where did all that information go? Did it truly vanish? Or is it somehow encoded, perhaps in a way we don't yet understand, within the subtle quantum fluctuations of that outgoing radiation, like a secret message whispered in a universal tongue? Imagine a vast cosmic library, filled with countless volumes detailing every event, every configuration of particles, every thought that ever sparked across the eons. When the universe approaches its end, be it through the gentle fade of a big freeze or the dramatic unraveling of a big rip, will this cosmic library simply crumble into an unreadable dust? Or are there more subtle, more enduring ways in which the universe keeps its own meticulous records? Perhaps the information of the cosmos isn't stored in obvious, tangible forms like books or hard drives. Perhaps it's woven into the very fabric of reality at its most fundamental level, in the quantum realm, like a tapestry that, even when shredded into individual threads, still holds the potential to reveal its original pattern if carefully reassembled. Perhaps the universe's information persists in a deeper, more fundamental language. Consider the gentle ripples on the surface of a pond when a pebble drops. The pebble is gone, sunk to the bottom. Yet the ripples spread outwards, carrying a subtle memory of its impact, its size, its entry point. Even as they fade, they affect the water around them. In a much more profound and intricate way, perhaps every interaction, every transformation, every moment in the universe leaves an indelible, if incredibly faint, imprint on the quantum foam of space-time itself. A whisper that echoes through the void, though imperceptible to our senses. This thought offers a gentle reassurance, a kind of cosmic comfort. It suggests that nothing is truly lost, not even in the most ultimate sense of dissolution. The universe's history, the grand unfolding of its existence, the very atoms that comprise your being, and all the intricate patterns they form, might not simply disappear into utter oblivion. Instead, they might be transformed into a different kind of pattern, a different kind of energy, subtly woven into the future, eternally preserved in the background hum of reality. It is a way of saying that the story of the cosmos, from the fiery birth of the first stars to the quiet evaporation of the last black hole, holds an intrinsic value that persists beyond the physical forms it takes. It implies a deeper connectivity, a thread that links the beginning to the end, the fleeting to the eternal. So, as your mind begins to quiet, and the day's experiences start to recede, know that even the most transient thoughts, the softest sensations, leave their own subtle imprint. Perhaps, in some profound and mysterious way, nothing truly vanishes without a trace. The universe, in its own grand, silent wisdom, might be an eternal keeper of its own story, preserving the essence of what has been, even as it drifts towards its final, peaceful slumber. The echoes of existence may linger, a gentle, whispered reminder that all has transpired, all has been. We have journeyed through the vast, cold reaches of the future, past the dying embers of stars and the fading echoes of black holes, into an era of almost unimaginable emptiness and stillness. In this ultimate dark era, when the universe is a featureless ocean of near absolute zero temperature, with only the faintest, most scattered particles drifting further and further apart, a curious and profoundly gentle thought experiment sometimes flickers into existence, like a momentary spark in an infinite night. It is the concept of a Boltzmann brain. This idea is born from the very same principle of entropy that guides the universe towards its end. While the overall trend is towards maximum disorder and uniformity, quantum mechanics tells us that on the very smallest scales, even in a perfectly empty vacuum, tiny, fleeting fluctuations are always occurring. These are not nothing, but rather brief, random appearances and disappearances of particles and energy, like the silent, invisible shimmer of a cosmic foam. Now, imagine this empty, cold, infinite future. If you wait for an incomprehensibly long enough time, Cybene, a span of eons far exceeding even the age of a black hole's evaporation through statistical probabilities, suggests that even the most improbable things might eventually happen, just by pure cosmic chance. The Boltzmann brain thought experiment gently asks, is it possible that, purely through a random, incredibly rare fluctuation of these quantum particles in the vast, empty vacuum, a structure complex enough to constitute a functioning brain, complete with memories and consciousness, could spontaneously pop into existence? Not a body, not a planet, not even a single cell, fowling, just a lone, disembodied brain, fully formed, suspended in the utter void. Imagine it, if you will, as a fleeting dream. This brain would live for only the briefest fraction of a moment, its existence a blink in the unceasing night. But for that micro-instant, it would be fully conscious. It would perceive, it would think, it would remember. It might experience a vivid, detailed memory of a past that never truly happened, a life that was never actually lived, a universe that had long since faded. It could perceive a sun rising, a gentle breeze on its skin, the quiet murmur of a conversation Tefendi, all manufactured entirely from its own ephemeral, spontaneous existence. This is not a terrifying thought, but rather a profoundly speculative and almost poetic one. It blurs the lines between what is real and what is perceived. It suggests that in the ultimate, featureless void, consciousness itself might be the final, most improbable act of creation. It is the universe, in its deep, dark slumber, perhaps dreaming of itself. Think of it as the ultimate expression of random potential. When everything else has ceased, when no stars shine, no galaxies turn, no life breathes, the universe might still hold this infinitesimally small, yet infinitely profound potential for fleeting awareness. These are not robust, enduring entities, but rather spectral, momentary blips of consciousness, appearing and dissolving with the same swiftness as the quantum fluctuations that give them birth. What would such a brain know or feel? Perhaps it would feel utterly alone, adrift in an endless sea of nothingness. Or perhaps in its spontaneous creation, it would simply be filled with an entire simulated lifetime of rich experiences, believing itself to be a person on a vibrant planet, unaware of its true, momentary, and isolated existence. It is a thought experiment that stretches the very definition of existence and reality. It is a way of exploring how incredibly fragile, yet incredibly persistent, the spark of consciousness might be. Even when the universe has surrendered all its complexity, all its structure, all its warmth, to the forces of entropy, the fundamental rules of quantum mechanics still hold. And within those rules, there remains this sliver of an unimaginably remote possibility for a flicker of awareness to briefly manifest. This brings us to a gentle contemplation of our own minds, our own dreams. When you close your eyes and drift into sleep, your brain weaves entire worlds complete with characters, landscapes, and narratives, all from within your own consciousness. Dreams can feel incredibly real, sometimes more vivid than waking life, yet they are purely products of your mind. The Boltzmann brain is a cosmic extension of this phenomenon, a universe. In its ultimate slumber, perhaps creating its own dreams, its own fleeting moments of self-awareness, out of nothing but chance and the deep abiding laws of physics. It is a profound testament to the intricate dance between order and chaos, between the material and the perceived. It invites us to consider that consciousness, in its deepest essence, might be something that transcends even the lifespan of stars and galaxies. It reminds us that even in the vast, cold silence of the end, the universe might still hold secrets about the nature of perception and the meaning of existence itself. So, as you rest, let your mind wander through these strange and beautiful possibilities. Let the boundaries between what is real and what is imagined gently soften. In the boundless canvas of sleep, your own mind creates worlds, experiences, and moments of awareness. Perhaps on the grandest, most ultimate scale, the universe, too, finds its own ways to briefly dream of existence, even when all else has faded into the quiet, eternal night. It's a final, gentle whisper that perhaps, in the very deepest dark, consciousness, however fleeting, might still find a way to momentarily be. Perhaps, then, the truest grandeur of the universe, and indeed of our own brief flicker of existence within it, lies not in its endlessness, but in its finitude. It is the boundary that gives definition, the ending that imbues every precious moment with its profound, quiet weight. Imagine a symphony that never concludes, or a story that unfolds without a final chapter. The beauty, the tension, the resolution, they would all be lost in an endless, formless drone. And so it is with the cosmos and with us. The universe, in its vast, slow dance of creation and decay, finds its meaning precisely because it is not static, because it evolves, transforms, and moves towards a distant, shimmering horizon. Its grandeur is in the unfolding, in the magnificent, delicate process of becoming and unbecoming. And if we accept this, if we allow ourselves to truly understand that every star, every galaxy, every particle, even the very fabric of space and time, is on a journey with a destination, then perhaps we can find a profound, liberating peace in our own transient nature. Your life this day, this very moment, is not an infinite expanse. It is a unique, precious chapter in a larger story, woven into the grand cosmic tapestry. The limited span of time that is yours allows for an intensity of experience, a vividness of emotion, and a depth of connection that might otherwise be dulled by the illusion of eternity. It is the gentle whisper of an ending that makes the present so exquisitely alive. Consider the birth of a star, a spectacular burst of light and warmth. Its brilliance is magnified by the understanding that, one day, it will fade. Its brief, glorious life illuminates the cosmos, all the more brightly because it is not eternal. And in the same way, the journey of this vast universe, from its fiery genesis to its ultimate, silent slumber, is rendered magnificent because it has a trajectory, a story arc. It breathes, it changes, it slowly, gracefully completes its grand, majestic cycle. And you, in this quiet moment, are part of that cycle, a tiny, vibrant spark within its grand, evolving narrative. There is no need for despair in the concept of an end, but rather a gentle invitation to embrace the rich, full meaning of what is here. Now, in this luminous, fleeting present, it allows you to let go, to find rest in the understanding that everything, even the grandest of cosmic tales, is complete in its own time. And as the universe, in its ultimate, patient unfolding, drifts towards its final state of perfect, absolute equilibrium, perhaps we can draw a soothing parallel to our own nightly descent into slumber. Sleep, in its gentle, pervasive way, is our personal, intimate heat death at the close of each day. It is the moment when all activity ceases, when the busy dance of thoughts and actions slows, quiets, and eventually stills. Like the universe surrendering its last remaining pockets of energy and information to an even distribution, so too do you release the day's accumulated tensions. The swirling thoughts, the demands of the waking world, allowing your own internal system to reach a state of deep, restorative balance. Imagine your body as a small, intricate universe, bustling with the energy of the day. As evening descends and the desire for rest grows, you begin to withdraw that energy, much like the cosmos gradually expanding and cooling, its vibrant processes slowly fading. Your muscles soften, your breath deepens and lengthens, becoming a slow, rhythmic tide. Your mind, once a whirlwind of tasks and plans, begins to quiet, its ceaseless chatter giving way to a more tranquil murmur, and then to silence. This is your personal journey towards entropy, a gentle, necessary reset. You are not striving, not achieving, not moving forward or backward. You are simply sword imbibing, allowing the natural processes of your body and mind to guide you to a state of profound, peaceful non-action. And in that surrender, in that gentle release, there is an echo of the universe's own quiet acceptance of its ultimate fate. Just as the stars will eventually dim and the galaxies will drift apart, you too allow the day's light to recede, letting go of control, of expectation of everything that binds you to the active world. You float, unburdened, on the soft currents of approaching sleep, a tiny island of warmth and consciousness within the vast, cool sea of your bed. This nightly ritual is not an end, but a vital pause, a return to the quiet foundational state from which new energy and new beginnings will softly emerge with the dawn. It is a miniature echo of the grand cosmic cycle, a gentle reminder that balance and peace are found in the rhythm of release, in the quiet, profound act of letting go. So, let your mind drift like the most distant stars, your body settle like ancient dust, and find your own perfect, gentle equilibrium. And now, as the imagined journey through cosmic eons begins to recede, and the distant whispers of the universe's ultimate fate grow soft, it is time to gently bring your awareness back to this quiet, comforting moment. You have drifted through the vastness of space and time, touched the edges of eternity, and gazed upon the most profound mysteries of existence. But for now, that grand cosmic narrative can softly dissolve, allowing your own personal story of rest to take precedence. Let the visions of evaporating black holes and timeless voids gently fade into the background, like distant echoes in a fading dream. You are not floating in the cold expanse of the void. but resting safely, warmly in your own bed. Allow the gentle understanding of the universe's patient surrender to its ultimate peace to wash over you, like a soothing wave. Just as the cosmos will one day settle into its perfect, absolute stillness, so too can your mind and body surrender to the deep, pervasive tranquility of sleep. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to consider, no questions that demand an answer in this moment. The great cosmic clock has paused its relentless tick for you, allowing you to simply supli. The knowledge of endings, of ultimate silence, can be strangely comforting, for it reminds us of the preciousness of this present moment and the simple, profound peace of simply existing, here and now. So let your breathing continue its soft, rhythmic dance, a gentle current guiding you ever deeper into slumber. Feel the weight of your body, gently supported, sinking into the soft embrace of your bed. Let every thought, every lingering concern about the past or the future, drift away like motes of stardust on an interstellar breeze. You have ventured to the edge of time, and now you return, not with the burden of knowledge, but with the profound, quiet calm that comes from contemplating such vastness. The universe will continue its slow, majestic journey towards its unknown future. But for you, the journey ends here, tonight, in the serene and peaceful embrace of sleep. May your rest be deep, undisturbed, and utterly restorative. Good night, and may your dreams be as soft and boundless as the quietest corners of the cosmos.